Good evening, everyone. So, I am here on Facebook Live to kind of tell you some fast facts and news that's going on, including river cruises. And today I was looking at the news, and there was an article in Afar about the 10 river cruises that you're supposed to take in 2025. So I thought I'd go over them, and then afterwards I'll tell you my favorites. You can tell me your favorites in the comments or which one you think sounds amazing. Okay, so the first one is something that most people don't think about when it comes to river cruising, and that is Colombia. AMA Waterways is going to be starting to do the Columbia River, the Magdalena River, and that is actually going to be set to launch in early 2025. So if you want to be one of the first people to experience the culture, the passion, the food, the music before it becomes overcrowded or too high of a destination, this year or next year are the years to do it. And so there you can also do pre or post sailings that go to Medellin, Cartagena, and Panama City. So you can really enjoy South America. And one of the best things about that is you don't have as long of a flight. So going to Colombia is much easier than going to Europe if you're worried about a long flight, but still want to experience the amazingness of river cruising. On the Magdalena River, it's also going to have less people on board. So the ships average about 60 passengers. So you are going to be really able to experience just intimate settings, being able to go places that big ships obviously can't. And seeing a part of Colombia, I don't think most people really do. I think that would be a really cool and interesting trip to try. And it is definitely on my bucket list. So another one is actually one that I'm taking in 2025. I am spending New Year's between 25 and 26 in Egypt on the Nile River. My mom and I are actually going to be flying out of the US the day after Christmas, and we are going to be doing Egypt and be there for New Year's. Talk about a great way to ring in the New Year is kind of how I see that. But basically, what you're going to be doing is going to be on this beautiful trip with Uniworld. And Uniworld is all about decorating for where they're at. So it's very much focused on that Egyptian, beautiful sort of decor. It's over the top. I will share later on some photos of what this boat's going to look like. But you spend 3 days in Cairo, and then you take a private jet to the Nile, and you pick it up there, and you do 7 days exploring all the beautiful temples and everything of that nature to really be able to see what influenced Egypt's history, the culture, the geography. And for those who like a little bit of extra luxury, there's also a chance to sit on the deck, lay out in the pool, and just be able to see everything as it sails by. For those that are worried about safety, I totally understand. They are currently still doing Egyptian cruises this year, and anyone that I have known that has gone has said that it's really beautiful. They felt completely safe, but it is, again, your comfort level. And if you do have any questions or concerns about that, I can definitely reach out to you, and we can figure out what you're worried about and if you even do want to do it. And that might be something we take that and push it off onto your bucket list for something later. Now, another one is going to be a trip that I did last year, which is last year as in April. I don't know why I considering April last year already. The Rhine River. So the Rhine River is from Basel, Switzerland to Amsterdam. And I took a group and we did that for the Tulip Festival, and it was absolutely amazing. We started in Switzerland and we did a 3-day pre-extension, and we even did a private tour to the Swiss Alps. When I tell you, we went yodeling on top of the Swiss Alps at this restaurant, and I'm pretty sure all of the the Swiss people hated us, but we had an absolutely amazing time. We went to the Lindor Chocolate Factory. We really kind of did the high level things of what you do in in Lucerne, in Zurich, before we hopped on the trip in Basel. And that was a really fun sort of thing. We also went to this famous fondue restaurant and got to try all these different fondues and just got to experience that sort of stuff. And so one of the things that I love about the Rhine River cruise is also going to be the Rhine Gorge. It's a half-day sailing that you do, and basically there's 40 plus castles, forts, things of that nature that are still there. And left to the right side, all of them just come up onto the mountains as you're just sailing on by. And one of the best things is your cruise manager will be on the speakerphone really explaining to you what each castle did, who it was, where it was occupied, and if something happened there. So you really get that history. And then they have the servers that we were there when it was a little cold, so they gave us some spiced apple cider, and I had a hot toddy because hot toddies. So you can do that. There's a tons of different companies that do it. Afar is recommend doing it with Viking, which is who I did it with, but there are tons of different cruise lines that we recommend here at the Poodle Booked It that you guys can do that with. Another fun one is the Bordeaux region. So for all of our wine lovers, going to the France's Bordeaux region is basically an in-depth exploration of exploring wines, how they look, what to experience, and how to just really get one with the winemakers. This is recommended with scenic tour cruises. And so basically what you're going to be is 167 passengers, and it usually runs from April to October, and you don't go very far. So the actual like destination from point A to point B on the ship isn't very far, but what you experience in the region is just amazing. You're going to experience some of the iconic destinations, and I will butcher all these words, so we're just going to say iconic destinations like Margaux, Saint-Emilion, Mérac, Pomerol, Saint-Ernest, and please tell me how I butchered them, because I know I did. They also have some Grand Cru classé estates like Chateau Frontemaine, Chateau de Merant, and you can also, if you go in September or October, observe the annual grape harvest, which I think would be amazing, and that like just piece de resistance for those wine lovers to be able to see, you know, from grape to bottle to my mouth and my tummy. For those who have done the Bordeaux region, they say it's absolutely amazing, and it's just such a beautiful scenery. They hands down recommend it to anyone, especially if you are a wine lover. Now, something that I wasn't expecting on this list is actually doing India. So India on the Brahmaputra River is something that is northern India for 7 nights on Panda. And this is going to be basically where you start in the Himalayas before flowing down the Assam Valley. You go through the Namreri National Park. And so that's where you'll, like, it's known for the bird life, as well as you can possibly even see some Bengal tigers. India has a one-horned rhino that you can see, and you also on this tour get to do a full-day land safari at the Kaziranga National Park. And so you can learn all about the colorful Assam culture, and there's only 36 passengers on board. So you really get that intimate experience. If you have done a lot of Europe's rivers and you're looking for something unique, something different, but still have that guided aspect, or being able to be in a country but have the security of being with other people and on a tour guide, this is something that I definitely recommend. A new river cruise line that is hot on the market right now, that is absolutely gorgeous, is going to be Riverside Luxury Cruises. Now, Riverside Luxury Cruises bought all of the cruise ships from Crystal Cruises, and I'm sure you know about them. They are 5, if not 6-star luxury cruise line, and they owned River Cruises. So when they went defunct after the pandemic, Riverside bought them and have brought them back to their original glory, if not better, if I'm going to be honest with you. And they recommend doing the lower Danube with Riverside River Cruises. I have done the Danube and I highly recommend it, and doing it with Riverside would be even more amazing. So Riverside Cruises basically has only 110 people on board. They have the largest suites that you can have, and they have butler service with every single one of their cabins. You can even do room service, which is very rare on river cruises just because it's so small. They have tons of different dining options. Everything is, farm to table. They have caviar that you can get. They do offer 4 different pricing packages, but honestly, I recommend the top one, which is going to be unlimited drinks, unlimited shore excursions, all the food choices you could possibly want, and then some. For those who don't drink, or for those who don't like to be part of guided tours, you can pick a lesser option, which won't affect your overall experience on board, but you just won't have, again, those extra pieces like the drinks package or shore excursions in each stop. Now, those shore excursions with Riverside are going to be ultra luxury and small groups. It's not going to be a bunch of people going from one place to another. It's going to be probably 10 to 20 people max as they go through all these places, because they really want you to have that intimate experience. So I definitely recommend them for that, or any other trip. I do have some clients who are going on them for the Christmas markets next year, and I cannot wait. They're going to be in a French balcony room. Their beds look out over their windows, so they can basically be there, and it looks amazing. And so the next one is another one that I have been keeping my eye out for. So Uniworld this year is now introducing a sail and rail program. They basically are working with some luxury rail line companies that do like a 6 to 7 day on the rail, like on a train, and then you hop on a cruise from there. So the one that Afar is recommending is actually going to start in Istanbul and end in Paris. So you are going to do 2 weeks, 7 nights on a train, and then 7 nights on the Seine River, where you're gonna do Normandy, you're gonna go to Monet's Gardens, and you're gonna do all kinds of other absolutely amazing things, go to the Palace of Versailles. And then on top of that, beforehand, you're actually gonna start in Istanbul and take a train all the way to Paris and be able to experience all the different stops there. You'll be sleeping on the train, eating on the train, and you'll be doing excursions at each stop. They have a couple of itineraries like this, not just this one, that you could possibly do. They have one in Venice, they have one in a couple of other spots, but these are something that I just think would be amazing. Just because, I guess, coming from the United States, our train system isn't that great, and in Europe it's amazing, but being able to, kind of almost do like an Orient Express sort of status, I think would be super cool. And having 7 days on a train before hopping onto that cruise sounds super cool. And the Toastmasters in me would hate how many times I'm saying and, so please don't count. Another option for you is to do the Peruvian Amazon with Sanctuary Retreats. So this is going to be a very intimate experience. It's owned by Abercrombie & Kent, which is top end luxury travel company who owns Sanctuary Retreats on doing a pure Amazon River ships, where you're going to be 10 suites, 2 single cabins. Everything from the handcrafted furnishings are made by locally sourced materials as well as local artists. You have daily adventures off the boat, but you'll be doing morning yoga, you'll be having spa treatments, an onboard gym, and the length of these trips will vary between 3 to 5 days. And you can add this on to anything, as well as doing like Machu Picchu or Lima. So if you have ever wanted to do the Amazon and really be able to experience the pink dolphins, fishing for piranhas, so don't go swimming. I would not go swimming with their piranhas. I'm just imagining the movie. But kayaking through the beautiful Amazonian River, this is something that is for you. I think it'd be great to latch this onto, again, as I said, doing Machu Picchu, and just kind of being able to check that whole area off your bucket list and just experience the culture and the beauty of the Amazon, and then the mountains, and just the mix of those sort of things. And the last one is another different river cruise company. It is Avalon Waterways. So Avalon Waterways is known for is actually known for their panorama suite. So their panorama suite is going to be a French balcony on all the other ships. However, what they do differently is they actually face the bed to where you can see the water going by throughout the day, instead of it being faced the same way as the window, if that makes sense. So most of them, the bed's here and the windows are here, so you are going like the same direction. On Avalon, the beds are this way and the window is this way, so both people actually get to experience the beauty of any riverways that you are going on to. On this one, it's recommending the south of France, which is going to be like the Rhone River. And so that's where you're going to be 128 people, where you can basically see the traditional sites, do a combination of French wine and food, plenty of opportunities to kind of explore. Avalon Waterways is really focused on doing cultural, classic, or it's basically like excitement sort of thing. So they usually offer those 3 excursions every day, where you're either going to have a cultural thing. I have clients who are going on a Danube cruise, and one of the things was like, learn about the different bees and how they've affected the Danube River, while the other one was taking the bikes that they have on board and biking along the river and kind of seeing different areas while meeting the ship up at its next port. And then the other one was going to be a classic, where you were just going to do a city tour and kind of see what's going on. And so same with the Rhone, you actually have an amazing bird watching area. So the Camargue Regional Nature Park is home to over 400 bird species, including the pink flamingo. Another thing that you can do with this Avalon River cruise in the south of France on the Rhone River is learn how essential oils are created at a farmhouse in Provence. Go kayaking in the Gorges de la Charentière. That's that one. And learn how to painting techniques of Vince van Gogh at a workshop in Arles. You can even take a cooking lesson in Lyon. So as you can see, there are just tons of fun and unique things to do to really not only visit a country, but experience its culture. As you can see, river cruising, I don't know if you've ever heard it, ocean cruises take you to a destination and river cruising takes you through it. And as you can see, with all of these unique places that we've talked about, you have the Amazon River, the Columbia River, you have the, Nile, and also you just have tons of spots in Europe. One of the things that wasn't even mentioned on this itinerary is there's also a river cruise in Africa, where you could do a 3 to 5 day African safari on, the river, which is really cool because, the rivers and the watering holes are where all the animals come to, get water. And so you really get to be where all the animals are. And then on top of it, you can either do a rail, you can also do an additional safari. There's like 5 or 6 different options. So you can make it this amazing, like 2 week, 10-day trip to Africa, South Africa, to really be able to experience that destination. So there is more to river cruising than just Europe. Another one that wasn't mentioned on here, as I sit here and think about it, is the United States rivers. Next time, not next time, in a couple of weeks, I will come on and we will talk about all the different rivers and all the different things that you can do in the United States. And you don't have to go far if you don't want to experience river cruising at its best. Anyways, well, I hope you have a great day. Let me know what your favorite one that I talked about here is today, and we can discuss further. All right, happy days.